Are topped up with great ideas about wine, where to dine, anything and everything to do with the vine. Great conversation, lots of laughter, guests from all walks of life, food and wine, music, art, sports, and much more, all on The Wine Ladies.
Hi everybody, it's us, the Wine Ladies. I'm Georgia.
And I'm Susanne, and welcome everyone to One Sip at a Time. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Now we are here in the stunning Ristorante, Cucci Restaurant actually, located in Oakville, Ontario. And we are here for the first inaugural Open Up Your Heart Winemaker's Dinner. It's a fundraiser for the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Ontario.
Now February may be known as the month for love and Cupid and Valentine's Day, but it's also known as Heart Month. And that month, thousands of Canadians join forces to help this very important cause. Now, did you know that 1 out of 3 Canadians is struck down by heart and stroke disease every year? Even our own family, our own mom died last year in 2009 from heart and stroke. So this is a cause that's very near and dear to our hearts.
Absolutely. Now we're going to have a lot of fun tonight raising funds for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. We've got scrumptious food. Executive Chef Gordon Goss has got an incredible menu set out for us. We've got some incredible wines to enjoy. Mary McKay, the jazz trio, is going to be playing. And we've also got 2 very special guests that have come in this evening, as this is a winemaker's dinner. All the way from the new kid on the block, actually, Green Lane Winery. We're going to be starting off with Diane Smith.
Also, they say it's a family affair and that blood is always thicker than water. Well, we're talking about wine in this case. We've got one of the fabulous Speck brothers that will be joining us here this evening as well, Matthew Speck, and he's a viticulturalist over at Henry of Pelham Winery. So we're looking forward to talking to Matthew as well.
Absolutely, and the final winery to round things off is actually from Jackson Triggs Winery, and they, Suzanne, have brought in Canada's iconic ice wine, and I do believe they brought in their Gewürztraminer. How sweet it is.
All right, well, it looks like the guests are starting to arrive. We're going to have a fantastic night, and we always say that a glass of red wine is very good for the heart and very good for the soul, so why don't we enjoy a sip now before everyone starts to get here. Cheers!
Should take this opportunity before all the madness and the great excitement begins and everybody starts to descend upon us to talk with Matthew Speck. Matthew is a viticulturist at Henry of Pelham, the winery in Niagara, one of the premier award-winning wineries that are known for their fabulous VQA wines and that have also been one of the pioneers with the Vitis vinifera grapes. So Matthew, great to have you here. Thanks for coming out tonight for our fundraiser.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to it.
Now, where are your brothers? I know there's 3 of you. There's Paul, Daniel, and you. And where do you fit in terms of the siblings?
I'm in the middle. So I'm the
you're like
brother.
Georgia. You're the middle child. We know that's
what?
trouble.
You never tell anybody that. That does not spell trouble, or does it?
Probably.
So tell us a little bit about Henry of Pelham and when it started. Your father started the company.
Yeah, it's been a family project, I guess you could call it. It started. Believe it or not, it's in the mid-'80s, 1982 is when my dad first purchased the land out in St. Catharines.
You must have been just on a little bicycle or a tricycle.
Yeah, I wasn't quite driving yet, but I was. Yeah, I think I was on a bicycle by then.
Okay.
But it was a long time ago. And basically, we started planting the first vines in 1984. And that was my older brother and myself. We were teenagers at the time, and we shovel planted some of these first vines. Actually, the wines we're trying tonight are reserve vines now.
Okay.
Starting in 1984, we planted each vine by hand, by shovel, and I guess with my dad shouting directions at us as much as anything. But yeah, so in the mid 80s, and it was. It takes 4 years for a vine to produce fruit, so by 1988 we had some fruit and made our first small batch of wine.
Oh. Now, as I said earlier, there are 3 brothers. How do you get along? And how did you decide who's going to be doing the farming, who's going to be doing the sales, and who's going to be the big kahuna, the boss, Paul?
No, I'm the big kahuna.
Oh, you're the big kahuna. Oh, okay.
No, it's really the roles at the winery have really been a kind of organic process. We all started as kids working on the farm, the vineyard, and that's all we had. We didn't have the winery, and And even in the early days of the winery, we were too young to even drink wine, so we couldn't really make wine. So we worked on the farm. We grew the grapes, all toiled in the vineyards, and then as the winery started to evolve and we all finished university and came back to the winery full time, we began to share our roles between the vineyard, roles in the winery, and roles in sales. And over time, as the company grew, we had to further and further specialize what we do, and we just kind of naturally fell into the roles that we like. And so I stayed on in the vineyard. It turned out I was the only one who actually liked the farm work.
You like the farming?
I actually like it. I enjoy it. It's what I love.
Do you like being outside?
I like being outside. I like working with my hands more, and it's just what I like to do. So
Right.
I stuck with that. My brothers didn't so much love the farm work.
They want to get their hands dirty.
They like the glamorous side of the wine business.
They fell more into the sales, marketing, and other roles. And luckily in a winery, it suits itself very well to family business, actually, because a winery is really a multi-headed beast of a business. You've got farming, you've got
Right.
the winemaking, production, sales, marketing. So there actually are a lot of areas that you can branch out into and not bump into each other too much.
Right.
So it works well. We each have our own areas that are our own distinct responsibilities, but it all works together as an organization, so we have to come together and get along, at least most of the time, or we're in trouble.
We can attest to that, right?
Now,
Suzanne?
is wine made in the vineyard or in the winery? That's the question George and I were wondering about.
Yeah, I like to say it's all made in the vineyard, but the
Of course he does.
winemaker does something. It has something to do with it. But I mean, the character of the wine is set in the vineyard. You can't. Yeah, I always like to say that, like, imagine a winemaker like a chef. They take the ingredients, and the character and flavors are created in the vineyard first. And a good winemaker is a vineyard grower as well, as a vine grower as well. And when the winemaker then can take those flavors and translate them as purely as possible into the finished bottle, but you don't create new flavors in the winery. You carry through and express and enhance what you already have to work with, just like a great chef does with ingredients. You can't take lousy ingredients and make a great meal, but you can take great ingredients and make an outstanding meal even better. So it's really an integrated process, but the vineyard is what sets the table.
So speaking of the chef, you've got 2 courses and 2 wines of Henry Pelham's that we're going to be pairing up with this evening. The first one is a mushroom risotto with truffle oil, and I believe we have the 2007 Pinot Noir Reserve to go with that. And that was a fantastic year, wasn't it?
2007 was a phenomenal growing season. As a viticulturalist, it was a dream. It was dry and warm. And those are the things we generally look for.
Right.
Great season, long summer.
Okay.
And so and probably particularly for red wines, in that we had this very extended warmth that went all the way through the fall, very long fall season.
Yeah.
And so the red wines were very developed flavors, very developed tannins, very ripe flavors. And we love them. And they're also wines. A season like that also tends to produce wines with structure, tannin and structure that will also allow for cellar aging, particularly in the reserve wines.
Great.
And,
Awesome.
It's some very exciting wines, great food wines.
Awesome. Okay, so the 2007 is paired with the mushroom risotto and truffle oil. So maybe we should try that. Maybe you can tell us what we can expect in our glass.
Yeah, I mean, that's really a classic match. I mean, Pinot Noir and mushrooms, that's definitely a very classic traditional match for this grape variety.
Yes.
You're going to get the Pinot Noir. It's an elegant wine. It's all about aromatics, not unlike truffles. The aromatics are the key to this grape, I think. But that delicate complexity, that perfume quality of Pinot Noir carries through in the palate and in the finish as well.
Okay.
But fairly light tannins. Pinot Noir is not a big tannic wine, so it suits itself well to a
So it
dish
should
like
be a
this.
good match with the mushroom risotto.
It should be good. It's really it's a classic pairing.
Right.
Should be good.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to that a little bit later. Maybe we should are we allowed to take just a little bit of sip before everybody comes? Or I don't know. Why not?
Now, also the Baco Noir, you're known for that at Henry and Pelham. This is one of the things that people, when they talk about Henry and Pelham, they talk about your Baco Noirs as well.
Yeah, definitely. Baco Noir for us really is our signature grape. It's a grape that, back in the day there in the late 80s, early 90s, it was really our first sort of breakout wine. It was with Baco Noir, and I love having these 2 wines together in a meal because they couldn't be more polar opposites from each other in terms of style and structure, and they're just not. I was thinking, if I thought of it in terms of athletics, I would call the Pinot Noir a ballerina, and the Baco Noir is a linebacker.
I love that.
So it's big, up front, lots of flavor, a little bit rough around the edges.
I was thinking of the Black Swan, maybe.
All right, well, we probably should wrap up because we're getting ready to start the dinner, and guests are definitely arriving, and I'm sure they're jealous because they're not enjoying some of this wine, and we are.
Well, they'll have to exercise a little bit of patience. Thank you, Matt. So we'll be seeing you in just a little bit again.
Great, thank you.
All right, good talking to you.
Add sizzle to your life. Become a professional chef at Liaison College, Ontario's #1 culinary arts and chef training facility. Liaison College features hands-on training by professional chefs in small classes with commercial-grade equipment, flexible starting dates, and 10 campuses to choose from. Start your career in one of the fastest-growing fields with worldwide demand from top restaurants to cruise ships to educational institutions. Liaison College grads are highly acclaimed with a placement and employment rate of over 90%. Visit liaisoncollege.com and feed your passion.
Hey, Suzanne, it's the only machine that I need. I know, it's a great workout in just a fraction of the time. It made me get excited about workouts again.
T-Zone Vibration is making people sit up and take notice. Employing the newest technology and fitness equipment, T-Zone Vibration gives you an hour workout in just 10 minutes.
Try it. Believe it. You'll want to bring one home. T-Zone Vibration.
Call 905-483-8676. T-Zone Vibration, 905-483-8676.